You know, every great idea, every exciting new project, it all starts with the foundation. But what happens when that foundation has cracks you can't even see? Well, today, we're talking about the ethical and legal groundwork that can literally make or break your success right from day one.
So I want you to just stop and ask yourself, is the project you're pouring all your time and energy into, is it actually built on solid ground? Because that one question, honestly, can be the difference between a legacy you're proud of and a really painful lesson.
Let's use an analogy. Think of your project like you're building a house. You can have this brilliant design, the absolute best materials, a picture-perfect location, but if that foundation is weak, tiny little cracks are going to start to show up. At first, they seem small, no big deal, but before you know it, they can threaten the entire structure and lead to a total collapse.
So, here's our blueprint for today. First, we're going to look at what's really on the line here, the high stakes. Then we'll untangle the crucial difference between what's legal and what's ethical. From there, we'll get super practical with a 4-step plan, and finally we'll see how it all pulls together to create something that truly lasts.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about the high stakes. And I want to be clear, this isn't just about best practices or checking a box. This is about understanding why getting this foundation right is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. Because when this stuff goes wrong, it's not just a minor setback. We're talking about crippling legal penalties, a public backlash that can just destroy your reputation overnight, sometimes the complete and total failure of your project, and maybe the worst part of all, an irreversible loss of trust that you can never, ever get back. So how in the world do we avoid all those risks? Well, it all starts with understanding 2 core pillars, what I call the legal bedrock and the ethical compass. Now, they might sound kind of similar, but trust me, they operate in fundamentally different ways. And here's the key distinction, right here. Your legal bedrock, that's what you must do. It's the bare minimum standard, and it's enforced by courts. But your ethical compass, that's all about what you should do. It's the higher ground. It's guided by your values, and it's upheld by trust. And this is so important. You can be perfectly legal, but still be profoundly, damagingly unethical. Now, on the legal side, a really important concept is due diligence. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or know everything. It just means you took the reasonable steps to follow the law, like, say, researching data privacy rules before you launch your new app. Think of it as your shield. It proves you did your homework.
And then on the ethical side, we have stakeholder analysis. This just means looking beyond your customers and your immediate team. So if you're building a new factory, for instance, who else does that affect? What about the local community, the environment, your suppliers? Really understanding their perspectives is absolutely essential for making responsible choices.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now, let's get down to the how. Here is a practical, step-by-step blueprint you can use to build that solid foundation of integrity for your own project.
It really breaks down into 4 key actions. First, legal scoping. That's just figuring out every single law that might apply to what you're doing. Second, you build your ethical framework. You define the core values that you will not compromise on no matter what. Third, an impact assessment, where you really think through how your project affects all those different stakeholders. And finally, and this is the part people forget, you implement and iterate. This is not a one-and-done checklist. It's a living, breathing guide that has to evolve right alongside your project. But let's flip the script for a minute. This isn't just about avoiding disaster, okay? Having a strong foundation is actually what unlocks incredible long-term success. So let's talk about the payoff of getting it right. The rewards here are just immense. I mean, when you operate with real integrity, you build this unshakable customer trust. You become a magnet for the best talent because people want to work for a company that does the right thing. You create a culture where real innovation can actually thrive. It's what ensures your long-term sustainability and builds a reputation that, frankly, money just can't buy. So, I guess the real takeaway is this. Integrity isn't just some shield you hold up to defend against disaster. It is the launchpad. It's the proactive, strategic choice that fuels trust and powers real, sustainable growth. And that brings us to the final and most important question. As you think about your own ideas, your own projects, just ask yourself this. What is the very first step you can take today to strengthen your foundation?